Hello and welcome to the Thrifty Collector. I went ahead and I've got some one eBay buy, a couple of yard sale finds. I also got some through the, and I also am going to do something kind of different. I have a really rare, odd wrestling VHS tape. I don't know if a lot of you know this, but I collect wrestling VHS tapes. I have well over about 125 to 150 of them and just enjoy having them. I enjoy watching them. Big wrestling fan, but can't really get into the new product. To me, it's just boring as boring could be. So I just kind of watch the old ones and enjoy that. But I'm going to start off with my first eBay buy. It's been a long time since I've had an eBay buy, but this is one of the cards that I've been working on. I like picking up I'm a big Notre Dame fan. I like picking up the Notre Dame press plates or printing plates. And I know these aren't exactly real printing plates, but Target and Walmart did put out these. They're 1 of 8, 2 of 8, 3 of 8. And I've got a few of them, and probably here coming in a video, I'll show the Notre Dame printing plates for anybody that's a Notre Dame fan. I think you'll get a kick out of it. If not, please just watch it. But they did it with DeShone Kizer, and I have a friend that's a big Cleveland Brown fan, and he was all excited that they drafted DeShone Kizer. And I said, well, obviously you never watched him play at Notre Dame. I think he played 1 year with the Browns, and then he went to the Packers as like their third stringer. And I don't even know if he's still in the league or if he's the guy that holds the pen that's holding the guy that's holding a clipboard. But just kind of neat. I enjoy having them because, but on the back here, it kind of tells you what they are. This is the Walmart exclusive version, 1 of 8. This is the black plate. And like I said, I've got a few of these. I've got a few of the Targets, a few of the Walmarts. I went ahead and bought them, just kind of like them. Won't pay more than $10 shipped for one of these. Probably something when I go to sell my collection when I retire, I probably will lucky if I get $10 each for them, but it's kind of neat to have them. So that's the DeShone Kizer printing plate. And like I said, one day I'll do a video about my Notre Dame printing plates. One of the first cards I got this past week is from Ray Carlton, who played with the Buffalo Bills. He was actually on a few Buffalo Bills teams back in the 60s when they won the AFL championships. I sent him 3 cards altogether. Maybe it was 2 cards, but I sent him that one. That's the 68. And here's the 66. For a guy that's probably pushing mid-80s, great signature, nice blue Sharpie. Normally, I don't send index cards, and when I opened this envelope and saw all these index cards, I was like, well, that's kind of odd. I didn't really send them. But Ray was kind of nice enough to send me 4 index cards. And the first one is just him, Ray Carlton, Buffalo Bills, number 30. Ray Carlton, 2 times AFL All-Star, 2 times Pro Bowl. He sent that. That was kind of neat. And he sent this one, AFL Champs, 1964-65. And I believe those were the years. The Patriots' first coach was Lou Saban. Nick Saban's actually older cousin. And he left the Patriots and went to the Bills and won a couple of AFL championships. They used to call Lou Saban the gypsy coach because he never stuck around long. He went to Syracuse. He was in a bunch of different places. But and then he sent me this one. Buffalo Bills, and he scored the first Bills touchdown, 9/18/1960. So that was probably one of the first touchdowns in the AFL. So that's kind of neat. So not a huge Bills fan, but I thought it was kind of nice of him and to do 4 index cards with them all being different. The next one I have is Ed Buddy. I don't know if anybody really knows much about Ed Buddy, but he was on the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs when they went to the Super Bowl and won. He was a two-time AFL champion, also in 1966. He was a five-time AFL All-Star and a two-time Pro Bowl player when the leagues merged. He, excuse me, he is a guy that I don't understand why is not in the Hall of Fame, except for the fact that he played in the AFL. And the Pro Football Hall of Fame is really more the NFL Hall of Fame. So, and we can get into the whole Herschel Walker thing, that Herschel Walker should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But, yeah, if this is his rookie card, so it's one of those long shots you never know, might eventually make the Hall of Fame as a seven-time Pro Bowler. But unfortunately, most of them were with the AFL, and the NFL is not very good honoring the AFL guys. That is his, what is that, the 64 tops. And here is his 1970 top signed. Once again, a guy that's probably pushing mid-80s or early 80s and actually has a signature like that compared to the guys today where it's usually an X or a check mark. So that's why I love sending to the old guys. Next card, I sent Greg Washburn. This is a 1970s Topps card, and he kind of signed above the Angels. Might not like signing across his face. Some guys don't. Already had this one signed by Wally Wolf, so this kind of completes the card. I always think it's great when you can complete one of these cards. Don't think he played too many years, maybe one or two. That was about it. But just a great piece of history on that 1970 card. And I had actually sent him two of them. I think this is actually the third or fourth one of these that I have complete. So one day maybe I'll find an Angels fan that's looking to trade for something on that one. Now, the next card I have is a set that I have hyped up a lot over the years. I think it's kind of one of those sets that nobody is looking for. It's very much under the radar, except for guys that send out to every card of every guy that they can possibly find. But I'm talking about the 88 Max set, and this is the Richard Petty. This is one of his cards. He had his one card, and then he actually had about 3 or 4 of his actual car. It's nice to see Richard is actually now signing in gold. He signed in this almost white paint pen for years, and his actual 88 Max card, here's an example of an 88 Max regular card. A lot of those guys' outfits were white, and I want to say Petty's was, and you could barely see the signature, so it's nice that he switched to gold. So that's one of his other cards. I am out of the regular card. I think I have about 5, 6 of those signed. I just think it's a great card to have, and you can still pick them up sometimes on eBay. Well, I don't know today with everything has gotten so crazy, but you used to be able to pick them up for about $5 each. So, and I still have a bunch of these. And then his other one is that one right there. If you kind of look, it looks like it's the paint pen itself kind of smudged a little bit. Not even smudged. It's kind of weird. Just a lot of the paint came out of it. So, but yeah, if I can recommend anything, is the 88 Max set. It's cheap, not expensive at all. So if you can pick it up, pick up the Petties. There's a few other guys. Bill Elliott, if you're going to send him one card. I made a mistake. I sent him 3. The first one looked great. The second one looked okay. The third one looked not good at all. So there you go. That's the Richard Petty. Now, I did have a pretty cool yard sale find. Let's see if I can get this here. This is actually a Globetrotters. I believe it's a 2002 ball. So this was obviously something that somebody bought at an event. Does show the Hall of Fame right there. But it's actually signed. Everybody wants to know if Curly Neal signed it. It's Curly Neal signed there, and then he also signed in another spot here. Oh, right here, right by the star. So I mean, that's outstanding, the way that is. So that's just a great ball to have. Now, what I'm going to do in a review is, as somebody that's big in the wrestling VHS tapes, this is the American version of the WrestleMania 8 tape. It is one tape. The average running time is over 2 hours. As you can tell, I watched most of it. Probably had to go to bed or something. It was weird how they did these back then, just to make them give them that big box look. But I went yard selling a few years ago, and I actually picked up the Korean version of that. So that is the Korean version right there. It's pretty much the same front and on the back right there, except, of course, it's in Korean. Now, the neat thing is about the Korean version is that that's it right there. But it's also a 2-taper. There's actually 2 tapes to this. And I have one other one outside the Royal Rumble. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to watch the American version and compare it to the Korean version and see what the differences are on these two. So, but yeah, kind of neat. And I also was able to pick up a Royal Rumble. So I'm going to check those those 3 tapes out and see what the difference is between them all. But thanks for sharing. Got some good through the mail autographs this week. The Ed Buddy, I think, is a great sleeper if you're looking to pick up something cheap. That once he makes the Hall of Fame, that card will go from $5 to $60, $70 in a day. So check it out. Ed Buddy, check out the 1988 Max. I'm getting close to getting all of my cards signed. I'm also going to do, I went on eBay, I went on Facebook and looked to see if anybody did the Chromie WCW cards. And they are actually a set that was put out, I believe it was in Venezuela. And it was a card game. But the amazing thing about it is it has a lot of the rookie cards. And one of them is the 91, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and also the Diamond Stud. So I'm going to go through all those and show you how it was kind of a game. I really don't read Spanish. I did take Spanish 1 and 2 in college. I spoke it very poorly, and I read it even worse. So we'll do the best we can on that. So that's going to be kind of neat. It's also the first card, I believe, of Johnny B. Bad. Might be Brian Pillman's one. There was a game, kind of like a little cheap game that somebody put out in the States that had like Scott Steiner's first card in it. And I think Pillman might be in there. So, but thanks once again for checking me out. I hope you enjoyed the stuff. I hope some of you check out the wrestling VHS difference between the American version and the Korean version. Because with 2 tapes on the Korean version, I imagine there might be maybe the dark matches on there, and it wasn't on the American. I did watch some of it. There were a lot of Korean commercials. A lot of the WWF LGN toy commercials were on there with Roddy Piper. So, but I'm going to check them out. I'm going to do a little thing. Hope one day maybe to upload them, the Korean ones, and just so that probably most people, even like hardcore fans, have never even seen them. So everybody have a great night, and I hope you're doing well. And sell. That's the name of the game right now. Everybody take care. Have a great one. And as always, stay thrifty.